Hey guys, it's Disciple here from New Gaming, bringing you another video. But as you notice, this video is a lot higher quality, and that is because I have recently purchased, set up, and got to tinkering with my HDPVR. And this video just looks great. And as my first gameplay using this, I was not going to talk about the gameplay. I do get a good score with a SPAS 12 as my primary and regular TDM. You guys can check that at the end. I don't want to spoil it for you. But the main thing I wanted to talk about is how I got this. And it's a pretty good story. So I hope you guys will sit back and be entertained while you watch some pretty cool gameplay. To start off, I'm a senior in high school currently. I just started back to school 2 weeks ago. And prior to school starting, or after it started, I'm not sure, I got to talk to my mom. I don't live with her, but I got to talking with her about sending me some money to buy some school clothes. Because New Year, I wanted some new clothes, and she had agreed to send me $200, which is not an amount I suggested, but it's the perfect amount for buying an HDPVR because it's about how much they are. You can find them for a little cheaper. I don't know, many places, but they usually run about 200, brand new. And I couldn't just spend all that money on the PVR and not have any clothes for school and just go the whole year without clothes or whatever. So what had actually happened, which is pretty lucky for me, is I got to talk to my dad too, and I hadn't expected this, but he had given me $100 to spend on clothes. And I had not told him that I had gotten money sent to me by my mom, but I had bought about $90 in clothes. To be honest, I hadn't even spent the whole 100 on clothes, but I got about 90 bucks in clothes, so I had something to show for it, something to wear for the year, or at least for a part of the year. And then I had spent the rest of the money on the PVR, and I'm going to explain to you how this ended up happening. I had gotten dropped off of my dad after I had gotten the money from both him and my mom and gone shopping. It was late at night, about 8:30, and he had to go back to work. He works at the airport, and one of the machines on the terminal had broken down or something, and he had to go help fix it. So he dropped me off, and I had the money burning a hole in my pocket. I already had plans to spend it on what I wanted, and I just had to find a way to do that. So what I decided on doing was walking to the bank. It's pretty close to my house, but I had started running from my house. I started running, and I got about a mile before I got exhausted. And I'm probably over-exaggerating, but it felt like that. And I started walking, taking a break. I took a break for a second, walked, and I started thinking to myself, it cannot be that much farther. I mean, I've been here so many times at the bank that I got my account opened on. So I start running again. By the time I'm exhausted again, the bank is in sight, thankfully. It was a lot farther than I had been remembering, unfortunately, but I got there. And it's late at night, and my bank, unfortunately, only has a drive-through ATM. There is no walk-up ATM just off the side of the building. So I had to get in line behind the car, 8:30 at night. It's dark, and he probably thinks I'm crazy or something. But after he left, it was my turn. I went up to the ATM. Two people pulled up behind me. I felt pretty awkward still, but as I read something scrolling across the screen of the ATM, and it said this ATM is currently not accepting cash deposits. The only thing I needed to do that night was to make that deposit, and I couldn't do it. I was so disappointed and so upset and frustrated. I tried to call my dad and see if he could come get me. He said he'd be about an hour or so at work, so I had no luck in that aspect. But I was about to start walking, but I was too tired and sweaty and exhausted from running most of the way there. So what I ended up doing was calling him back, and he had decided to try to call a neighbor, see if he could come get me. He couldn't, no one was home. So I had to be kind of crafty. I was thinking to myself, I can't just give up now. I walked all this way, I'm not going to walk home empty-handed. So what I ended up doing was going to the supermarket nearby my bank. It's Fiesta, it's a little supermarket, and I was going to look for some gift cards to buy something online. And my luck, of course, I walked through half the store before I found it, and I ended up picking off 4 $50 Amazon gift cards. And of course I got to the register, and she had problems ringing it up. I had a manager come over and help me check out. But yeah, I got it there. I was still excited. I didn't care. I was just happy to get them, happy to at least start something up so I could have the PVR on the way to me, and I was super excited. I was about to start walking, but I decided to call my dad and see where he was again. He said he'd be about another half hour before he was gonna be able to get me. I was like, okay, I don't want to walk, so I decided just to go to a little fast food restaurant nearby there. Jack in the Box is the name of it. I ordered some stuffed jalapenos with cheddar inside and a large drink. Sat down to eat my food, try to relax. Um, but of course, there's some guys causing trouble. Three guys were sitting on the table, of course, on drugs or high off their minds or whatever. And they actually asked me if I was selling drugs, and of course I said no. Don't do drugs, kids. They're bad for you. But the other guy was causing problems with the cashier, saying his food was wrong and yelling at her and cussing and all this other crap. He stepped out. I was hoping that was the last I would see of him, but unfortunately he came back with a cup of water from a nearby store or restaurant. I have no idea where he got it, but he came back with it. Started causing more trouble. I tried to stay. I tried to mind my own business. I refilled my drink. I got out of there. As I'm walking through the parking lot back to Fiesta, I spotted a police car, and there was a guy in there. So I walked up to him, told him they have some trouble with a customer over there. She threatened to call the police. I don't know if she actually did, but maybe you should go check it out. And that adds some epicness to my story because it probably saved a couple lives that night while I was on my epic quest and journey to get the destined PVR. But after that, my dad picked me up. I was on my way back, super excited, jumped right on my laptop when I got home, opened up Amazon, got on my account, put the order in for the PVR, took the money off my card. I paid extra for 1 day shipping, so I could get it extra early. And I was lucky it just had a price drop, so I could actually afford that with my $200. But I find after it takes the money off, I find out that it would be 5 to 7 weeks to ship, is what it told me. And I'm thinking, at the time I believed it, but this is just ludicrous. And at the time I believed it, I was mad and super frustrated, especially the fact I just paid for 1 day shipping. But what I decided to do was try to go cancel my order. Couldn't cancel it. There was an error with the site. And luckily they got it fixed. It sent out 2 days later. I got it the day after. The order moved out on Thursday. I got it on Friday. And now I'm able to make these beautiful gameplays. I hope you guys enjoyed and you'll leave me some feedback. Thank you for your time and hope you have a great day.
Good job, coming